If I can go this whole video without getting makeup on this shirt, if you ever see me fight in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Twyla Moore, and as you can tell by the title of this week's video, I'm going to be giving a story time, or really an explanation, I guess, of why I decided to renounce my Greek letters. I know that people who are watching this now who know me in real life are probably really shocked by the title of this video, because so for those of you who do not know, and you'll find out as I tell this story, but the university that I did my first 2.5 years of undergrad, I didn't graduate from the university. I left due to medical reasons, and I transferred, and I graduated from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, or in Birmingham. And who I was at UAB versus who I was at the university that I initially started my collegiate career, two completely different people. This girl, we like her, you know, she wasn't perfect, definitely had some room for growth, but she was on her stuff, made dean's list every semester, was really about it. This girl from my initial university, she could be walking down the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Before we get into the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button because it is absolutely free. And right now, with everyone talking about supporting Black businesses and business owners, this is my business. This is my baby. So support me, subscribe. It costs you nothing, girl. It costs you nothing. You ain't gotta worry about shipping and handling. You ain't gotta worry about none of that. Just subscribe and you support me. Look at that. Also, feel free to follow me on my social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, both at Twyla Moore. And a few disclaimers before I start this story. Disclaimer number one, this is not meant to be a bashing or an exposing video for Greek life. Because of that, I'm not gonna say the name of the sorority that I was once in. I will let you know that it was a D9 sorority, but for the sake of this video, we're just gonna call it Sorority Brown. Another disclaimer that I want to say is that if you're in college or have gone to college, you can attest to the fact, even if you're not in Greek life, every fraternity, every sorority, even of the same organization, every chapter is different from the next. You can go to one university where fraternity X runs the yard. You can go to another university 30 minutes up the street, same fraternity, different chapter, and it's just a 180 different. Those guys don't do anything, they don't add anything to the campus and or a Greek life experience. And that's just to pinpoint, this is just my one experience, okay? This is just my one experience. I don't want to see nobody in the comments like, oh, Greek life isn't like that. How would you know? Were you there? Were you online with me? Did you pledge with me? And even if you did, you're still not me. My experience is my experience. I'm not here to tell you don't pledge, because again, girl, that's not my decision to make. It's not the point of this video. I'm not here to say that if you do join a fraternity or a sorority, you're deemed to go to hell, because again, that's not my call. I am not your God. I cannot tell you what your afterlife is going to be like. Being 100% honest with y'all, since I renounced my letters of that organization, I have joined multiple honor societies since that point. Yeah, and I just say that to say, you know, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from pledging any type of fraternity or sorority. I'm just telling you why I decided that Sorority Brown was not for me. For me, I just felt that there was a lack of sisterhood and a lot of toxicity, which essentially equated to me just being miserable, being completely honest with y'all. Speaking on the lack of sisterhood, so I grew up with all brothers. I love my brothers very much, but being an only girl is a very interesting experience. And in that, my entire life, I've always desired to have girlfriends, not just girlfriends, but my like my person from Grey's Anatomy, my person or my people being girls, women who encourage me and I encourage them, and we root for each other in our prospective career paths and all of that good stuff. So that my childhood growing up with all boys just added to, oh, when I go to college, I'm joining a sorority. Like, it's no question. The issue, for lack of a better word, came into play when I went to college. I don't want to say it's an issue, but so when I went to college, I accepted an academic scholarship to a university in the state of Rhode Island, and it wasn't a full ride, but it was a pretty penny on how much they paid. Like, it wasn't a full tank of gas. I still had to put 5 on it, but I'd rather put 5 on it to be filling up the tank. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, bet, I'm going to take this scholarship. I'm going to go to school for close to nothing, especially with this being a private institution. What I was paying out of pocket was nothing of the actual cost to be at this university. With that, however, I didn't really research Greek life, which I probably should have. So pausing really quickly, if you're watching this and you're not in college and you know you want to pledge, make that be one of the factors that you research for the university that you essentially decide to go to. So when I get to college, there was one black sorority. It was the black sorority, it was the multicultural sorority, it was a diverse sorority, it was all of that all in one. It was a D9 organization, and all the other sororities on campus were full. I don't want to say they were white sororities, but they were white sororities, if you get what I'm trying to say. It was the apple beta pie sororities, okay? However, at my university, freshmen at that school, we could not pledge until 2nd semester freshman year. So in that time, I was like, okay, bet, I'm just going to weigh my options, because I didn't want to just rush to this one sorority, even though I knew that's what I was going to do. I still was like, let me just weigh on my options. So I would go to events that the apple beta pie sororities would throw, and they were not checking for me. They wouldn't speak to me at their events. They would never invite me back. And I'm not going to say or make the accusation that it was because the color of my skin. You could, if you wanted to, in the comments, make that accusation. I might like the comment, but I'm not gonna make that accusation. And another reason why I wanted to, or why I wasn't even upset about the other sororities not really checking for me, is because the university that I went to for the initial part of my undergrad experience, it was a predominantly white institution. It put the PW in PWI. It was a capital P, a huge W, and then a lowercase I. So with that being said, I was the minority pretty much everywhere I went. So I just thought that, okay, if Sorority Brown wants me and I want them, that's just perfect, because not only am I getting this sisterhood, but it's with people that look like me. It's with people that essentially should think like me, that have a similar college experience as me. I just took that as the universe giving me my safe place at this campus. As far as the pledging process goes, because remember I said that I could pledge 2nd semester freshman year. I'm not going to speak much about that, because again, this is not an exposing video. I will say, however, because it weighed into what led me to leave the sorority, my grades dropped significantly. The academic scholarship that I mentioned, that almost full tank of gas that they gave me to go to this school, I had to hit a 3.5. Every semester I had to hit or surpass a 3.5 in order to keep this scholarship, and that did not happen. That did not come close to happening 2nd semester freshman year, because I was pledging. And again, if you are in a fraternity or sorority, that's kind of expected, that while you're online, while you're fighting to cross the burning sands, your grades are going to drop. However, ideally, once you cross your sands, the burning sands, people will rally around you and help lift that GPA back up. There will be resources that has been accumulated and collected over time throughout the history of this organization being at this university that will also help push your grades up. Long traumatic situation put short, I had to appeal losing my scholarship, and at the end of all of that, I was able to return back to this university in Rhode Island for a sophomore year of college. So when I get back to school sophomore year, I am officially a member of Sorority Brown, and I'm also the president of this organization as well. Coming back to school sophomore year, honestly, the only way that I can describe it is that the honeymoon stage between me and Sorority Brown was officially over. These girls were no longer trying to court me. It's kind of like when you see somebody performing a magic trick on stage, and while they're performing it, you're just like, oh wow, that's so amazing. And then once the curtain's revealed, you're just like, oh, that's how you was doing that? I mean, I guess that was the reality for me being in Sorority Brown. Once I came back that second semester, I was just, the toxicness just hit your girl. So in Sorority Brown, it was just cattiness. We were always bashing each other. We were always throwing each other under the bus to make ourselves look good in front of other people. I say we because, again, like I told y'all, I don't know this girl from first 2 years of college. I don't know her. And unfortunately, I contributed to the toxicness of this sorority. I'm not gonna sit here and act innocent because I wasn't, but so just speaking on how negative this place was and how we would always throw each other on the bus to make ourselves look good or whatever the case may be. So there was a time when Sorority Brown, we were co-hosting an event with another non-Greek organization on campus. And one day I was eating lunch with my friend Ty, we're gonna call her Ty, and Ty happened to be the president of this organization that we're hosting this event with. So we're eating lunch this day as friends though, not talking business and things like that, because this wasn't my event. But however, while we're eating, in walks B, we'll call her, who is in charge of this event that we're hosting, who's in charge of the event, who's the liaison for this event between us and this other organization. So when she walks into the cafeteria, the dining hall, Ty waves her over and she asks her for flyers, or for her final thoughts on the flyer, because Ty's organization was paying for the printing. Can I not speak English today? Ty's organization was paying for the printing of these flyers for this event that we're co-hosting. However, when Ty is asking B about her notes on the flyer, B is just, excuse my language, but she's just a bitch. She's being really rude. She's being really short with Ty. She really just tells her, well, I'll get it to you when I can. And then she walks away. So Ty, to me, because again, we're friends, she's like, yo, is your sister, is she okay? You know, if I offended her, I didn't mean to, yada, yada, yada. I take up for B and I'm like, oh yeah, no, she's good. You know, she's just going through a lot. I'm making excuses. I don't know what's going on with this girl. However, I immediately text her and I ask her, is she okay? Like, yo, I know grad school can be stressful. I hope everything is good with you. If you need me to take over for this event, let me know. Because I already spent so much time with I'm getting these names mixed up. I already spent so much time with the girl who was my friend, who was the president of this organization. So if the girl from the sorority, if B couldn't do it, I could have did it. You know what I mean? Because I'm already kicking it with her as friends anyway. We can throw some business in there if needed. However, B, she texts and she responds and tells me that she is so appreciative of me reaching out, and me asking her if she was okay means a lot, and that she would take care of her duties and make sure that everything got done by its deadline. I'm thinking, okay, cool. We good, we Gucci. That's done with, that's over with. You happy, I'm happy, all right, cool. However, as days start to go by, I'm noticing I'm clearly the odd girl out at this point in Sorority Brown, and I don't know what I did. I don't know why I'm being isolated. I don't know why people are talking about me, talking about me in a group chat that I'm in. It's not a good time for me at this point. And another issue that I have with the organization, it wasn't just drama between the girls that were on campus. It would be people that graduated 10 plus years ago that would be wrapped up in this drama. I remember around this same time that somebody who graduated smooth years before I even got to college was telling me that somebody else who graduated already was saying that I'm a horrible president and I didn't deserve the role, and I'm not doing enough. About 2 weeks go by of me just being by myself at this point. Nobody in my organization really messing with me, and it's time for us to have one of our chapter meetings. So I'm thinking, this is just, if my eyes are going back and forth, y'all, this is my lens, this is my viewfinder. So I'm just This is a new camera. I'm not cross-eyed. But anyway, it's time for this meeting. I'm thinking it's gonna be a traditional meeting. Come in, vote up some stuff, pay some dues, and then go back to my dorm by my lonesome self because I ain't got no friends at this point. However, when I walk in the room, it's not just members that are currently on campus, but it's members that graduated years ago in this room. And we didn't talk about anything business-wise concerning the sorority. No, this was a intervention for me. This was literally everybody just attacking me. But I'm still sitting here like, what triggered this? What was it? So finally it comes out. Somebody says, oh, and we know that you threw B under the bus and you made her look like she wasn't prepared. You never throw your sister under the bus. You never tell anyone what's going on inside Sorority Brown. What? I'm sitting there like, what are you talking about? But things start to add up. If you're black, you know what happens in your household, it stays in your household. That is what it is like when it comes to Greek life. What happens in your chapter, between members of your chapter, stays in your chapter, between members of your chapter. So her going around telling people that I threw her under the bus when she wasn't prepared, and even though I was lying my off to take up for her, that's what triggered everybody being so mean to me, because she's making it seem that I'm going around revealing secrets of Sorority Brown, or making it look like us as a unity that we're not prepared for this event. Thank God though that I sent that text message. Thank God, because I pulled my phone out and I essentially was just like, yo B, if you had this problem, why would you not tell me when I texted you? If you was beefing at that wedding, you should have been beefing at that wedding. Why would you bring it to somebody else's club? That's sad. If you had an issue with what went down at that table, because I can only see life from my perspective. To this day, I still don't feel like I did anything wrong in that moment. But if you feel like I violated you, if you feel like I lost your trust, or whatever the case may be, when I hit you up and say, yo, you good? Why not say, actually, I'm pissed off because of this, that, and the third? Why wait until you're around other people and make it look as if though I threw you under the bus when you're throwing me under the bus right now? Those text messages honestly was my saving grace in that moment. The whole room did a 180. The whole script was flipped. Now everybody's talking about B. Oh, why would you do that to her? You know you was wrong. You do this all the time. So the meeting ends. The meeting ended after, it was like a 3-4, no exaggeration. We was in there for about 3 or 4 hours. About 3 or 4 hours. But at the end of it, apologies were given. People hugged. Oh, we're a sisterhood. You know, we gotta put this stuff behind us. Yada, yada, yada. But for me, and again, like I said, I'm not telling y'all beginning, middle, and end. This isn't the first incident that happened with this organization where I feel that somebody was trying to play me or set me up or whatever the case may be. This is just one that I wanted to tell for the sake of this story time. And for me in that moment, I think this is when I mentally checked out. You know how they say girls, when we break up with a guy, we mentally are gone before we actually do the deed. This for me, I honestly feel like this is when I was like, you know what, I'm not even here mentally at this point. I'm honestly not. There was a point in this school year that we're currently in where I had to start reallocating my funds to go towards paying for tuition. Because remember, like I told you, it wasn't a full scholarship. It was a pretty penny, but it wasn't a full ride. And my mom was helping out significantly. Shout out to my mama. But I still had to contribute. And because of that, I had to step back from paying dues for Sorority Brown for a little bit. Greek dues are no joke. They can be a lot. They honestly can be a lot. So when I realized that I was not going to be able to pay for a while, I called the one other person who needed to know this, which was someone who was essentially our treasurer. They were heavily over the finances of the organization. We had an in-depth, lengthy conversation. We set up a payment plan, worked everything out. Again, I'm thinking that's it. A couple of days go by and the university up the street from the university that I attended is having some Greek event, a stroll off, a step off, a something off, and myself and members of Sorority Brown, we go to support. While we're there is intermission, and if you've ever been to a Greek event, you know intermission is where the money is made. That's where all the vendors are at. that while myself and certain members of Sorority Brown are walking around, we come across this one vendor whose artwork was really dope, jackets paired, custom made, really done well. I asked this individual, this vendor, for a business card. As I'm asking her for her card, for her contact information, a member of Sorority Brown overhears me, not the person who's over finances, not the person I had this conversation with, and she goes, "What did you just ask for?" "Oh, a business card. I just want to get her card, her contact information." Oh, because I was about to say, you was buying something. How you buying something you can't even pay dues? But okay, get your card.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
I'm sorry, what? So for her to, in front of all of these people, pretty much put my business out there that I don't have the money to pay dues, so how can I have the money to buy a jacket or whatever I was looking at? It was embarrassing. And also my feelings was hurt on multiple ends. A, the person that I had the conversation with, why would you tell her? And B, even if, so that's one issue, but let's say, okay, she told you for whatever reason. Why are you now throwing this back in my face? Why are you now publicly, oh, you know, oh, you got the money for that? Oh, okay, why are you in my pockets? Another issue that I had, another issue out of all the issues, but a main issue that I had with Sorority Brown is that I felt that not everyone in the organization, I don't want to make it seem that everyone was like that, because that's not the case, but there were quite a few people that I think their entire identity was wrapped up in the organization, and they would get upset if that wasn't you, if your entire identity was wrapped up in the organization. And mine wasn't. Like I told you, I had a part-time job. I was on student government. I played rugby. I had a boyfriend at the time. There was other things that I did outside of Sorority Brown. I remember I had to pass up on an event, not a major event, not an important event. I think it was a movie night, something really low key, something really simple, because I needed to go study. I needed to study. I'm in school, girl. I need to study. And people, excuse me, some people in the org were not happy about that. Were not happy about me missing this event. I can't be at every event. That's the point of having X, Y, and Z members, so that way if this person has to go here, then these people can step in. It shouldn't always be, people shouldn't be made to feel bad if they're missing an event, if they're missing something. This isn't a cult. This is a sorority. So the fact that I'm missing something, and not even missing an event to go to a party, and certain people, again, not everybody, I'm not about to make it seem like it was something that it wasn't, but certain people were, oh, you're not gonna be there? Oh wow, okay, so she's not coming? Oh wow, see, this is what I mean when I say she's not a good president, she's not this, she's not that. Well, girl, if they kick me out of school, I won't be this or that. I won't be a student. I won't be a sorority member. I won't be a student. I won't be none of this if I get kicked out of school. My last straw with Sorority Brown actually came when I took a hiatus from school. So coming out of sophomore year wind down, my body started to do some things that it should not have been doing, and that summer I got tested and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, which is a autoimmune disease, and I got diagnosed with a pretty serious case. And when I was diagnosed, especially with the severity of the case that I was diagnosed with, my doctor, my mom, and I made the decision that I was going to sit out of school for a semester. So first semester, junior year, I set that semester out. And everyone, all of my organizations, everything that I was committed to was aware of this, including Sorority Brown. In addition to me sitting out a semester, I also was no longer president of Sorority Brown. So it wasn't like I just, you know, ditched the organization. I wasn't president. I wasn't on the e-board. I had no responsibilities, honestly, because I was dealing with this new illness that I'm going to have to deal with forever, because there is no cure for Crohn's, and I had a lot to figure out. During my break, Sorority Brown really didn't get the hint that I was on a break. I would be in the hospital, or I would be in the oncology center getting a chemo treatment, because when you have Crohn's, sometimes they put you on Remicade, which is a form of chemotherapy, and I would be getting texts saying that Somebody is upset with me because I missed this phone call. This person is mad at me because I didn't vote on this poll. This person is saying that I need to step up and do more because I'm not in school, so the least I could be doing is designing this or making this flyer or whatever the case may be. That for me that honestly was the last straw. That was the realization that y'all just don't care about me. Honestly, y'all don't. And I don't want to make it seem as if though this was an easy decision to make, because it wasn't. Like I said in the start of the video, I knew I wanted to be in a sorority for as long as I can remember. So now that I have something that I worked my ass off for, that I wanted for such a long time, and it wasn't what I wanted, it was just like, yo, am I really about to renounce my letters right now? So for me, I just heavily meditated. I heavily prayed. Not trying to make this a religious video, but I did. I prayed, and I know for me that I was given the answer that I needed from my spiritual guides, from my spiritual team. They gave me pretty much the answer that I needed and the clarification that I needed to make the decision to move forward with renouncing my letters. And that's what I did during that break. Prior to me returning, I sent an email to the dean of my line, because she was the person that kind of really brought me into the org, and the only person that I felt that I needed to give a heads up to, not really explain, but give a heads up to. So I called her, we had a conversation. I'm not gonna hash that out for the world to know what it was, because that was between the two of us. And then I sent my email. After the email was sent, nobody really said anything to me when I'm still on break prior to me returning back. No, one person did email me some shady stuff, but girl, I don't like you either, so. But outside of that, like, no one hit me up asking if I was serious. Nobody called me to try to talk me out of it, and I'm thankful for that too. Honestly, I'm cool with it. You know, I didn't need anyone to call me, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't tell anybody in the organization that I was about to leave. Because there were people, yeah, the organization was toxic, but there were still people within the org, and you know who you are, that I was genuinely cool with, that we were genuinely like this. And that's the reason why I didn't let them know beforehand, because I didn't need anybody trying to talk me out of it. Because at that time, you know, even though this environment is toxic, the person that I'm experiencing this toxicity with, I'm really cool with. And at that time, that person could have potentially talked me out of doing what I know was best for me. Returning back to campus, second semester junior year, or first semester for me, I was honestly nervous about actually seeing members of Sorority Brown in person. Because even though they didn't say anything to me, really, once I renounced, now that they would see me in person, maybe that would have changed. I don't know. Because now I'm looking back like nobody was going to beat my ass. You know, this wasn't a gang. I didn't get jumped to get in. Well, we're not going to talk about that. And going back to school, it honestly, it was what it was. There were certain members when they would see me, they would say hi. There were certain members when they would see me, they wouldn't see me. And I was cool either way. And speaking honest with y'all, to this day, I still don't have any regrets. Once I sent that email and said that I'm leaving the organization, I'm stepping down from being a member in this organization, I never once regretted that decision, and that just makes me know that I made the right decision. One of my really good guy friends, he's a Kappa, he always says that Greek life, whatever you decide to pledge, it should not change who you are at your core. And for me, speaking honest with y'all, I allowed Sorority Brown to change who I was at my core. I'm not a mean girl. I do not like gossiping. I do not enjoy or like being petty or talking about people. And I was doing that, and that's just not who I was. I was filled with anxiety and felt that I couldn't do anything right. And again, that's not who I am. So I'm not gonna pin it on them. I'm not gonna pin it on me. For whatever reason, I know that organization just changed me for the worse, and that's why I don't have any regrets in me deciding to leave that organization. And yeah, that's really everything, or everything that I'm willing to share. Before we get out of here, if you have made it this far in the video and you are not subscribed to my channel, if you sat here through all of that, just subscribe. Honestly, support me. Feel free to follow me. You know what? Follow me, okay? Follow me. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter, both at Twyla Moore. Also, I'm gonna start plugging Black-owned businesses at the end of my videos. And the first one that I wanna plug is from my really good friend. Her name is Tara. She owns a cosmetics line called Child's Play Cosmetics, and right now she she launched with lip gloss. So not only does she has custom lip gloss that are exclusively sold through Child's Play Cosmetics, but she also has your favorite lip gloss that you might find at your local beauty supply store. So either way it goes, girl, just go shop with her. I'll link that down below. And yeah, that's it. I still don't know how I'm closing out these videos on my channel, but stay blessed, stay safe, especially now with everything that is going on in the world. If you're in America, oh girl, it's a lot going on out here. Yeah, and I will see you guys in next week's video.